Hi friends, how are you? I am Ramesh, senior chemistry teacher. In today's session, we are going to learn about corrosion and the mechanism of formation of rusting. Let us see what is this corrosion. There is a metal. When this metal is exposed to open atmosphere, then the gases try to interact with the surface of metal. When the gases present in the air come in contact with the metal slowly starts decomposition. This phenomena is called corrosion. So when the gases react with the surface of metal, causing decomposition of metal, resulting in the formation of sulfides, oxides, carbonates, sulfates, this phenomena is called corrosion. For example, if the metal is copper, it forms green color due to formation of basic copper carbonate, CuCO3, CuOH twice. See in this diagram, you can observe these green color layers on the copper metal because due to formation of CuCO3 and CuOH twice. Like in the same way, if it is silver, then it becomes gray color due to formation of silver sulfide. So when the hydrogen sulfide present in the atmosphere react with the silver, it forms hydrogen sulfide. The color of silver changes to gray color, that is called tarnishing. Tarnishing of silver. If it is iron, so see this diagram. So when the iron is exposed to open atmosphere, the brown color layers is appear on the surface of iron metal. That is called rust. This is called rust. So what is rust? Fe2O3.XH2O. In some examination, they might ask what is the chemical name of rust. So hydrated ferric oxide. It is not ferrous, it is ferric. Hydrated ferric oxide is called rust. So what is the chemical formula of rust? Fe2O3.XH2O. Then what is the chemical name of rust? Hydrated ferric oxide is called rust. Let us see the mechanism of formation of rusting. So how does the rust formation takes place? Generally, formation of rusting takes place in the presence of water and air. So rust is formed in presence of water and air. So water and air are the supporters for the formation of rust. These two components can cooperate the formation of rust on the surface of iron metal. Let us see. So what is the mechanism involved in the formation of rust? How it is formed? So initially take the one iron metal here. This is the iron metal. So it is iron metal. Generally, every metal has the tendency to lose the electrons. It is a property of metal. It is the natural tendency. Every metal shows this property. Every metal has the natural tendency to lose the electrons. It is called metallic character or electropositive character. Of course, some metal has the high tendency to lose the electrons. For example, S-black elements, alkali metals like sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, they have the very high tendency to lose the electrons. But some metals like D-black transition metals like iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, they have the low tendency to lose the electrons. Of course, it will take the time to release the electrons. Okay, that is the reason iron can show the metallic character. Because of this metallic character, iron try to lose the electrons. As a result, it forms Fe+2 ions and electrons. So these electrons are responsible for the conductivity of any metal. So here electrons will release and Fe+2 will form. The loss of electrons is called oxidation. So the place where the oxidation takes place is called anode. So the iron metal itself acts as the anode. So let us take the reaction at anode. Reaction at anode. So the metal itself, iron metal itself acts as the anode because it undergoes oxidation very easily. That is the nature of iron metal. It takes place naturally. So Fe undergoes oxidation to form Fe+2 plus. For example, if we take the two iron atoms, 2 Fe+2 and 4 electrons. So this is the oxidation reaction. It takes place at the anode. Oxidation. It takes place in a natural way. That is the property of metal. So what is the electrode potential of anode? Or what is the electrode SRP of this reaction? E0. E0 of this iron metal is Fe+2 to Fe. So Fe+2 become Fe. This is the reduction. This is SRP, standard reduction potential of iron metal is minus 0.44 volts. Okay, this is the property of metal. Generally, in our daily life, we can observe the moisture present in the atmosphere appear in the form of tiny small droplets, water droplets, on surface of any object present in the open atmosphere. Especially in morning times, we can see these droplets, water droplets, so which are appear, small tiny droplets appear on the surface of any object present in the open atmosphere. Let's take the one water droplet. So I want to take the one water droplet here. So how these water droplets are formed? So when the moisture present in the atmosphere interact with the surface of metal, where condensation takes place, there where vapors are converted into the water, liquid state, that is called condensation. During condensation, the vapor gaseous state become liquid state. So this is the water droplet. Small water droplets present in the surface of iron metal, water droplet. So when carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere come in contact with this water droplet, so CO2, once CO2 present in the atmosphere interact with this water droplet, what happens? It forms carbonic acid, H2CO3. When CO2 interact, dissolve in this water, it forms H2CO3. Let's take this reaction. So CO2 present in the atmosphere interact with this water droplet or water, it forms carbonic acid. So what is this nature of H2CO3? It is the acid. It can release immediately H plus ions. Of course, this is a weak acid. That's why there is a chemical equilibrium established between ionized acid and unionized acid. So this is forward reaction. This is backward reaction. So H plus will come from the H2CO3. So otherwise you can tell, so CO2 is the source for the production of H plus. So here in this water droplet, many H plus are there here, H plus. So why this? How these H plus are formed? Because of CO2. When CO2 come in contact with water, so CO2 gas dissolve in water, it form carbonic acid. The formed carbonic acid will release the H plus ions. Here H plus ions. Here the H plus will form not only from CO2. Take the any non-metal oxides. For example, the pollutant like SO2, SO3, or nitrous oxide, N2O, N2O5. Any non-metal oxide. So any non-metal oxide can produce the H plus ions. For example, SO3 is there. SO3 react with water, it form H2SO4. So the formed H2SO4 can release the H plus ions, H plus and SO4 minus 2. Generally, non-metal oxides are acidic nature. Once they can interact with water, this water droplet, or dissolve in water, they form oxyacids. So these are carboxylic acids, they can release the H plus ions. The electrons are released from iron metal, they are not in constant position. So they will try to move from one part of the metal to other part. So let us take, these are the electrons initial position. So they are trying to move from one part of the metal to other part. So let us take, this is the direction of the electrons. They are trying to move from this position to surface. This is the surface here. Once the electrons will come to the surface of the metal, so this is the surface of metal, so where the H plus or water droplets are present. Here the electrons reduce the oxygen gas in the presence of H plus. So H plus is present, so electrons will reduce the oxygen gas to form H2O. So take the reaction here, 4H plus, so this is 2H2O and 4 electrons. Here the oxygen oxidation state is 0, here oxygen oxidation state is -2, 0 to -2 means reduction. So the electrons coming from anode or iron metal will reduce the oxygen gas in the presence of H plus. So where this reaction takes place, this water droplet, this is called cathode, because this is reduction. So the water droplet itself acts as the cathode. Reaction at a cathodic spot, reaction at a cathode. So here H plus react with O2 to form H2O. So gain of electrons is called reduction. Generally reduction takes place at a cathode. So balance this reaction, 4H plus and 2H2O. So O2 is the gas and H plus is the aqueous state. The H2O is the liquid. So O2 undergoes reduction in the presence of H plus. Even O2 is available, if there is no H plus, then reaction won't take place. So reaction won't take place and reaction rusting is prevented. So H plus, we can say H plus is the catalyst for the formation of rust. That's why initially I told you, so rust is formed in the presence of water and air. So because of water only, the H plus will produce. Once the CO2 present in the atmosphere come in contact with water, it releases the carbonic acid. The formed carbonic acid will release the H plus. So H plus is the catalyst for the formation of rust. For example, if the CO2 quantity is more, so where some places in crowding areas, in cinema theaters or shopping malls, so where the CO2 quantity is more in the atmosphere, that time the H2CO2 production also more. Once the CO2 product quantity is more, H2CO2 production is more, then they release the more quantity of H plus. So that places rusting takes place very rapidly or very fast. So in some examination previously they asked, so what is the catalyst in the rusting of iron? H plus is the catalyst. Then take what is the electrode potential of this reduction. So electrode potential, here O2 become H2O in the presence of H plus. So O2 become H2O. So the SRP of this reduction potential is 1.23 volts. So anode SRP is minus 0.44 and the cathode SRP is 1.23 volts. So low SRP acts as the anode and high SRP acts as the cathode. Anode has low SRP and the cathode has high SRP. Because of difference in the potential, then electrons obviously transferred from low SRP to higher SRP. That is the reason electrons try to move from anodic spot to cathodic spot. So write the overall reaction here. The overall reaction combination of these two reactions. So cathode, anode and cathode. When you add these two reactions, here 4 electrons, here 4 electrons get cancelled, then form 2Fe plus 4He plus and O2 to form 2Fe plus 2 plus and 2H2O. So this is the liquid and it is the aqueous. It is also aqueous. This is gas and this is solid. This is the overall reaction takes place at a surface of metal. So there is a anode of cell and a cathode of cell. So an electrochemical cell is established on the surface of iron metal. Then find the EM of this cell. So E naught of this cell. So E naught of this cell overall reaction is, how can you find the E naught cell? E cathode minus E anode. SRP of cathode minus SRP of anode. E cathode minus E anode. 1.23 minus 0.44, we get the 1.67 volts. So finally, an electrochemical cell is established on the surface of metal. One part is anode, other part is cathode. Between these two, there is a difference in the potentials. Because of difference in potentials, electrons obviously transfer from iron anode to cathode. One part of the metal to other part. So here, in overall reaction, the Fe plus 2 ions are produced. So this Fe plus 2 further oxidized by the atmospheric oxygen to ferric ions. These ferric ions comes out as rust. So the Fe plus 2 formed in the above reaction is further oxidized by the atmospheric oxygen. In the presence of atmosphere, it forms ferric ion Fe2O3 and H plus will produce. So this is aqueous, it is gas, it is liquid state, this is solid, and it is aqueous state. Here the oxidation state of Fe is plus 2. So this is ferric oxide. That's why here oxidation state of iron is plus 3. Plus 2 to plus 3 means lose of electrons. That is oxidation. This oxidation carried out by the oxygen gas, atmospheric oxygen gas. That is the reason this reaction is called atmospheric oxidation. We shall now balance this reaction here. So this is 4H2O, 2Fe plus 2. So this is 2Fe2O3. So this is 4Fe plus 2. So plus 8 here, plus 8. So 6 oxygens here, 6 oxygens. Now equation is balanced. So the formed Fe2O3 again further reactive with moisture present in the atmosphere. So take the x moles of water. X may be any number, any moles. So x moles of water, that is generally called moisture present in the atmosphere. When Fe2O3 reactive with the moisture present in the atmosphere, which comes out as rust, it forms rust. So this is called rust. So this is the formation of rusting. But how can you prevent the formation of rust or corrosion? The simple easiest method is barrier protection by grease, oil and painting. So through this we can prevent the rust. One of the important method is galvanization. In this process, the iron metal, so it is the iron metal. In this process, galvanization, the iron metal is coated with the more electropositive metal like zinc. So this is the zinc coating on the surface of metal. So zinc is more electropositive than iron. So this is the air. Once the iron directly exposed to air, then rust formation takes place. But here zinc is the more reactive than iron. That's why here zinc acts as the anode. So zinc gives the electrons to the air. Once the zinc interacts with the air, it forms zinc carbonate, basic zinc carbonate. So once the zinc interacts with the air, it can form the zinc carbonate hydroxide layer. So this layer will prevent the reaction between air and iron. So this iron doesn't lose the electrons, then formation of rusting prevented. So through this method, we can prevent the formation of rust. So some examination previously they asked what is the metal, which metal used in the galvanization process? Zinc. One more important method is, one more simple method is, so I told you in this rusting of iron, H plus is the catalyst. So if you nullify if you neutralize the H plus ions, you can prevent the formation of rust. But how can you neutralize the H plus ions? So how can you decrease the concentration of H plus ions? We can decrease the concentration of H plus ions or neutralize the H plus ions by using alkali. So alkali solutions, they are called anti-rust solutions. Anti-rust solutions. So by using anti-rust solutions also we can prevent the formation of rust. They are generally alkaline chromate and alkaline phosphate. So these are the salts which are formed by strong alkali and weak acid. Then obviously the aqueous solution of these salts have the basic nature, alkaline nature. So when you apply these solutions, anti-rust solutions, they have the basic nature, they can neutralize the H plus ions. Like that, you can prevent the formation of rust. That's all for today's session. Thank you for watching.